Is
Yes.
Meghan Markle racist?
I have heard enough now. You are weak and you are pathetic.
Not only are you offensive, you're ignorant. I object to race baiters. You're coming across to me as a terrible race baiter. Shut up. I'm gonna finish. Enough now. Just be quiet.
Breaking right now, it's official. With Love Meghan is a mega flop. Patrick Bet-David analysed the numbers, writing, "Numbers never lie." Meghan Markle's new Netflix show numbers are in. The 8-part series was watched by 526,000 households in the first 5 days. By comparison, Harry and Meghan's show drew in 2.1 million households in the same number of days. Harry is the main attraction, not Meghan. And to debate whether the people have turned off Meghan because of the issue of race, Lady Colin Campbell and Narinder Kaur are here for today's clash. Narinder has sparked controversy all over the internet for posting "With Love Meghan has backfired spectacularly on the British MSM and the haters who think they can bring her down. Meghan Sussex, using her fake name, has more charm and kindness in her little finger than the whole establishment put together, and the world loves her." She went further in an online video.
Everybody's talking about it, and I love how With Love Meghan, Meghan Sussex's new show on Netflix, has backfired spectacularly on mainstream media and all the haters in Britain. It's backfired because they thought they'd do reviews, slagging it off, slating her, thinking the public were going to be behind that, saying, yeah, we agree. But what happened was the public watched it, stateside and in Britain, all of the world, and said, actually, she's a really lovely woman. She's charming, she's caring, she's a giver. We love how she's doing this cooking. She's obviously loyal to her friends. She's smart. She's got more charm in her left eyelash than that entire royal family, who obviously hated her, were jealous of her because she posed a threat, because she's just genuine, she's real, and we love her. Everyone is loving it, and I am here for it. I am here for the tide to turn for Meghan finally. She's shown the world, I'm okay. The mainstream media, stop listening to them. And I think the British media, TV and newspapers, online, whatever, you need to stop now, because you're beginning to make yourselves look really embarrassing and hateful people who've got nothing nice to say about a couple who take nothing from the taxpayers and just live in their own life happily. Leave them alone. Leave her alone. Do you know how hard it is for a non-white woman to show up without continually being berated and slated and these wild expectations? She's just living her best life, and honestly, good luck to her.
Interesting, because the whole left-wing media has also turned on Meghan Markle for With Love, in part because of the horrendous treatment of Mindy Kaling. Not surprisingly, a non-white woman. Watch.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now. You have kids, and you go, no, I share my name with my children.
Yes.
And that feels so, I didn't know how meaningful it would be to me, but it just means so much to go, this is our family name.
Lady Colin Campbell, according to Narinder Kaur, you're hate-filled, and the world has just seen what a wonderful woman the Duchess of Sussex really is. How do you respond?
Well, as you can see, I found the whole thing laughable. Sorry. You know, with due respect to Narinder Kaur, colour has absolutely nothing to do with it. I know I'm Jamaican, and I have cousins who are of colour, and I have mixed all my life with people who are of colour. And in fact, I come from a world that is genuinely colourblind. And if you are of colour and you are dull and boring, you're still dull and boring. You don't get a free pass just because your skin isn't white. And the fact of the matter is, even the left-wing publications have slated her for being the dullard that she is. I mean, I can forgive many things, but lack of authenticity, and especially from a woman who posed as white for most of her life. I mean, when she was in Jamaica at Terra Nova for the reception after the Bob Marley film, I mean, some of the comments that some of the Black women and brown women said about her to make sure that she heard, because they strongly disapproved of this mixed race woman posing as white for most of her life, and then all of a sudden coming out once she decided that playing the colour card was going to work well for her.
Yes, Narinder, how do you respond to that? Because until she was in the royal family, Meghan admitted that no one even thought that she was black. She called herself Caucasian on her acting CV. This is just a grift, and you're grifting along with her.
Right, so both of you, Lady Campbell, with all due respect, and I know when people say that it's so contradicting and so corny, but have you actually watched it? Because when you say dullard, no one has said that. Everyone has watched With Love with Meghan and found it delightful, found it so wonderful. She comes across as genuine and kind. And actually, Dan, going back to the whole on her acting, I've got an acting background, and actually, when you're trying to play parts, you will put you can play the part of a 17-year-old, even though you're 30. You can put different, I can play an Arab. I'm not an Arab because I look Arabic. So you can put lots of different things. But actually, Dan and Lady Campbell, you really need to check your unconscious bias. Because
unconscious bias doesn't exist. Do not throw that unconscious bias thing at me, Narinder. I don't have it. I don't have it. Is that you accusing me of racism? Is that you accusing me of racism?
Well, you've got unconscious bias, but
no, I don't.
Me finish.
Doesn't exist.
The fact is, the fact
are you saying that Lady Colin Campbell, who is from Jamaica, has unconscious bias?
I think definitely Lady Campbell. The fact is,
come in, Lady C. Come in, Lady C.
I am consciously biased, Narinder. I'm consciously biased against posers and bores, and I don't care whether they're brown,
you're
black,
boring.
or white.
Lady Campbell, you're boring. Your hatred of Meghan Sussex is boring, because what's happened is the British tabloid and the British media had a smear campaign aided and abetted by the royal family because they were jealous of this
Narinder, that is not a fact.
You're not letting me finish. It's a fact. It's a fact. They were jealous of this star, Meghan Sussex. So we need to smear campaign this lady. But what they didn't take into account was public perception was going to watch this and say, we like Meghan Sussex.
Well, that's not what people are saying. But let Lady C respond. Lady C, are you just a little bit jealous of Meghan Markle?
Why would I be jealous of Meghan?
Because she got a prince and you didn't. She won.
Sorry, Narinder, give me a chance, please. Why would I be jealous of Meghan Markle? I live in a genuine castle. She doesn't. I have 70 auras. She doesn't even have one.
You sound jealous. Why are you comparing yourself to a younger woman? You sound mad. Like, why are you comparing your tiaras? What you're doing is, what's happening here in the unconscious bias is you don't like the
Narinder,
fact that
you have to let Lady C answer. That's how a debate works here on Outspoken. This isn't the mainstream media where the mad lefties dominate, okay?
She can't compare herself to a real-life princess. I mean, for goodness sake.
Well, she lives in a castle. Okay, Lady C, go on.
So, I mean, you asked the question, am I jealous of Meghan? I have nothing to be jealous of Meghan of. And the fact of the matter is, I would have loved to have liked her. I started out thinking that she was a wonderful addition to the royal family. It just so happens that, unlike Narinder, I actually have ambassadors, high commissioners, diplomats from the West Indies and Africa who come up to me at receptions and complain about the damage that Meghan has done to race relations throughout the Commonwealth.
How? Can you answer me how? How has she done damage? You've got no answer. How is she damaged?
How has she done damage?
Yes. How?
By accusing the royal family of racism.
That's a real life experience. They are racist. They are necktie. They're in history. The royal family in colonialism and racism. The fact is, which royal did comment on baby Archie's skin colour? The royal family come from racism. They are racist. So when they say Meghan Markle called out racism, how does that make her that she's
Narinder,
you're
you're actually spitting a lot of lies here, and I have to come in on a couple of them.
And Wootton.
So the first thing is, Narinder, you have accused the media of creating negativity towards Meghan.
100%.
That is a lie. The entire mainstream media and the entire country was behind Meghan Markle when she entered the royal family. You know, I was the first person to write about her terrible behavior, and it was months and months after the wedding because everyone was too scared to write the truth because they were afraid of someone like you calling them racist. Come in, Lady C. Come in, Lady C.
That's not true at all. That's
it is
lies,
true.
Dan. You know that's lies. No, because I tell you why that's a lie. Because actually the racism in the media started straight out of Compton. You had all
That's
kinds
not
of
racist. It's not racist. It's a pun.
Excuse me.
Let Lady C
my
come in. Lady
goodness.
C.
I'm actually very entertained by this whole thing. I'm sorry.
Yes, you find it funny. People find racism funny. I mean, it's brilliant. Like it's not. You
know,
don't have to
Lady
live
C
in
is
a
Jamaican.
world. Not to look at, Dan.
Narinder, I'm Jamaican, and I find it funny that a woman of color can be so blind to what's going on that you can spout the nonsense you're spouting. I'm sorry.
Lady Campbell, you are not.
Sorry, Narinder, pause for breath and give somebody else a chance to speak. Okay? You say that the media were initially racist towards her. First of all, Out of Compton was a headline that was, and since you're a professional, you should know that sub-editors do headlines, not the writers. And it was done in the United States of America. It wasn't even done here. It was done in the United States of America. And Kevin Costner is out of Compton. So, I mean, and that is hardly racism. Poor Rachel Johnson was accused of being racist because she said Meghan was exotic. I have often been called exotic, and I regard it as a compliment. Why is it exotic? And Meghan is exotic. The word exotic, if you look it up, and you are attributing to racism that which has nothing to do with racism. And I'll tell you as a fact that I know that the mainstream media have suppressed an awful lot of adverse stuff about Meghan from the very beginning, some of which they continue to fail to agree.
That's absolutely not. Lady Campbell, I think you are seriously, I hate to use the word, you're a bit deluded in what you're saying. You don't have one good reason why you don't like Meghan Sussex. Not one.
I think she's
and in fact, if you let me finish, that is not. If you're saying she's a dullard and a bore, is that good enough a reason for you?
No. I have lots of reasons. I have lots of reasons. How about the fact that she lied about the late Queen Elizabeth II in her dying days? That's a good reason to dislike this woman.
You're more mad about Meghan Sussex than Prince Andrew causing stress. And I think you need to check yourself. If you're more mad at Meghan Sussex causing the Queen, what did she say about the late Queen? Please remind me.
Well, she accused her entire institution of being racist.
That's not a lie. You said that's a lie.
It is a lie.
No, that's to you, it's a lie, but it's not to Meghan Sussex who lived it. So it's her fact, it's her life. And you sit here.
Meghan, do you know what? You've got to be very careful, Narinder, when you throw around racist claims. Because let me just show you another moment. Let me show you another moment from With Love Meghan that featured an exchange between Ms. Markle and Mindy Kaling.
I've got a lot to say about this.
Meghan, I want to ask about your look.
My who?
Your look. Your look, Meghan.
Oh, my Luke.
Your look. Did I not say it right?
I don't know. I mean, you're way cooler than I am. I don't know what you're talking. My Luke. My look. She likes my Luke.
Your look.
Oh my gosh.
Your fashion is like one of my favorite things.
But first, you know how often I talk about the need for free speech to be protected. Well, I've been increasingly thinking of the need for personal protection from snoopers, bad actors, and hackers online, and I'm delighted to tell you I've now found the fail-safe solution. But what's more, this VPN, or virtual private network to use the full term, is also a life changer when it comes to providing you entertainment and information from anywhere in the world, wherever you are. Let me introduce you to Surfshark, an incredible and easy-to-use service that encrypts all your internet traffic, meaning your online activities stay safe so you can shop, stream, browse, and conduct your banking online in complete privacy. But the benefits of Surfshark go way beyond keeping you safe online. It allows you access to your favorite entertainment and news shows and channels, from international services to streaming. Great streaming options like Hulu and iPlayer, HBO Max and Peacock, or if your favorite show is blocked on Netflix, Amazon Prime or Disney Plus, within seconds you can be watching as if you're in another country. If you're traveling for work or on holiday, you can also get all your favorite content from home, including sports. And this is an insurance policy against creeping censorship in many countries. For example, France has blocked Rumble for many months now. Watch anything, anytime, anywhere. It's true freedom, which I am here for. Oh, and a VPN can save you money too, because you can get the best deals from websites that change their prices depending on where you're buying from. There are other benefits too. You can use Surfshark on unlimited devices. That means your entire household can stay safe with just one subscription. And with over 3,200 servers in over 100 countries, there is a world of choice at your fingertips with 24/7 customer service if this is your first time using a VPN. Go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. What's more, Surfshark are so confident they're the best VPN in the world that you can give it a try for a full 30 days. And if you're not entirely satisfied, you'll get your money back. Go to surfshark.com/outspoken for an extra 4 months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. But now, back to the show. And look at this article from the Hindustan Times. Meghan Markle called a racist bully for mocking Indian origin Mindy Kaling's accent.
Yes, that's not because they're saying she's a racist. They're saying that white Karens are calling her a racist. I'm a Geordie. I say, look. I say, oh, look at what she's
Are you
wearing.
calling Lady
look.
C a Karen?
No, I didn't. Yes, she's definitely a Karen. My goodness, she's a Karen. You're a Karen, Dan. And the fact is, going back to the Mindy thing, where she corrects, when Meghan corrects her about her name. Now, people are saying, oh, that was so mean. Again, the Karen's going off it. Actually, that's called healthy boundaries in a friendship, and I'm here for it. Because, as you know, Dan, me and you, we have our healthy boundaries. And I said, well, actually, I didn't like that. But you don't say that I'm being difficult. It's just having healthy boundaries. There's nothing you can pick at in this show. And I think at some point, let's all just be friends on this and say, actually, it's a feel-good show. Why can't you admit that, Dan? Admit it.
Because it's not a feel-good show, actually. I totally disagree that it's a feel-good show. Actually, this show is very destructive.
Did it make you feel bad? Did it make you feel bad and horrible?
Yes, absolutely.
No, it didn't.
Actually, can I say something?
Yes, please.
It made me ill. It literally made me ill.
Why?
I started looking at it, and after the second episode, my nose started to stream, and I thought I was coming down with a cold. And my nose was like a faucet by the end of it all. And within 12 hours, it had cleared up. And people pointed out to me, my reaction was an allergic reaction because I kept on wanting to sleep. It was so boring. And when I forced myself to look at it, I ended up getting allergic reactions. So I'm sorry, Narinder, you may find her natural. I find her effective.
But can I just say something? I find it.
Beg of you, give somebody else a chance to speak.
Lady, you've just spoken.
Narinder, I know you're used to appearing on the lefty shows like Good Morning Britain and Jeremy Vine, where they allowed the nutty lefties to dominate. That's not how it works on Outspoken. That's not how it works on Outspoken. Give Lady Colin Campbell the floor, please, and then you can come in. Lady C.
Narinder, I'm going to tell you something. If you continue every time I open up my mouth to jump down my throat, I'm going to walk out of this. I'm sure your mother didn't bring you up to have such bad manners. Remember the manners you were brought up with. Okay?
And
now, what was I saying, Dan? I've completely forgotten.
Well, you were saying about how you don't, and all I was going to say was, for somebody who
No,
doesn't like,
I'm not interested in what you're saying. I want to hear what I was saying.
well, you said a lot there. And what I was going to say, if you let me say this, for somebody who doesn't like Meghan's success, and that's fine, you don't have to like her. Why were you watching her show?
For work.
Because unfortunately, it's a part of my professional obligation.
Don't
And so
watch
I have
it.
to do it.
Don't, because I don't think she needs a horrible eyes on her show. If you don't like her and she causes you such an allergic reaction, please don't watch her. We don't need your eyes.
Narinder, can I ask you why all of the left-wing media has also given this show such terrible reviews? The San Francisco Chronicle, Variety, The Cut, the Los Angeles Times, the New York Times, all of these organizations that were previously in Meghan's pocket have all turned on her.
No, I think that actually, as I said
You've
earlier,
got no answer to that, do you?
No, I do. The press actually have got this completely wrong. They thought they were going to go with public perception. What they didn't count for at all, that this show was going to be the hit it is. Globally, worldwide, it's top 10. A lifestyle show has never been in the top 10 worldwide, and the media got it wrong. Even the left wing. Actually, and you're right, Dan, I did see an article in The Guardian. I was really surprised. But again, they got it completely wrong. They did their reviews before it hit the stand, so to speak. And actually, a weekend, people are loving Meghan Sussex and they're loving the show. And you know what? I think you're going to have to join the bandwagon, you two. You two are going to have to eventually say, actually, it's okay. She's making her own money. She's not leeching off the taxpayers like other royals who barely work. And they're making their own money. What is there to hate? Please tell me. You don't have anything there to say you hate her. Nothing. And
okay, but you've asked Lady Colin Campbell a question. You've asked Lady Colin Campbell a question. Now let her respond in full.
Well, I'm afraid, Dan, it's really impossible to have an intellectual discourse or an intelligent debate with Narinder because she just spews forth venom. The latest point that I will pick her up on is that Meghan isn't leeching off the taxpayers, but that the rest of the royal family is. I mean, 98% of what the royal family does, Narinder, is never reported upon. It's all silent stuff, and it's all very dull and boring. And the reason why your heartthrob didn't want to do it was that she wanted to be able to go to Hollywood and make herself a lot of money. And the fact of the matter is, you keep on saying the show's been such a great success. It has been a resounding failure. It was in the top 10 for the blink of an eyelid. And for what it's worth, it's very easy for Netflix to have created the situation for it to make the top 10. The fact that it didn't stay in the top 10 is what is the proof that it is not the great success that, and also none of even the left-wing supporting publications has come out in favor of it being interesting. It is condescending and it is dull and boring, and she clearly has never entertained properly in her life because she has the focus all wrong. You do not have focus on the trivialities. Your focus as a hostess is on the main things. And she never once actually showed anything that was of any interest to anybody. Now, I mean, I happen to be a very experienced hostess, and I can tell you something, that you don't sweat the small stuff the way she was doing. You know, the way she was carrying on, you need 3 sous chefs to be palavering while the really important stuff was never dealt with. And I'm sorry, she is condescending. She sets herself up as an expert when she has no expertise whatsoever in absolutely nothing.
Can I speak now? I think Lady Campbell, I'm glad I let you speak there because you spoke yourself into a hateful little toxic ball. Because what you were saying, and you can laugh it off because I take these things seriously. I take racism seriously. You sounded hateful.
What was racist, Narinder? Narinder, can I just ask you? Can I just ask you something? No. Can I ask you something? This is very important. This is very important, Narinder. Just let me ask you something. Are you saying that if someone of white skin, like myself or Lady Colin Campbell, is to criticize someone who is mixed race, half white, half black, like Meghan Markle. If we criticize her, we are racist. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm going to say that actually there's some.
said.
Let me finish now, or let me even start. I'm saying that if you actually have no valid reason other than the silly, hateful little reasons Lady Campbell gave and yours, Dan, I think you need to check yourself and check if you are a bit of a racist. And I think that actually you've got no reason to hate her. And I'm actually getting so fed up and
Okay, well, I'll give you a
exhausted
reason right
by
now, Narinder.
apologizing.
I'm going to give you a reason right now. What about the fact that Lady C and I and many others have been able to prove time and again that this woman is a compulsive liar and she has lied about the Markle family, including a very good man, her Emmy Award-winning father. And we have evidence of that from With Love Meghan. Let me show you the evidence.
I really enjoyed eating your food. This dish reminded me of the kind of food that I grew up eating in California, like that real sort of farm-to-table, fresh, really. I was a latchkey kid, so I grew up with a lot of fast food and also a lot of TV tray dinner.
Narinder, I hate to tell you this, your heroine is a big, fat liar.
Oh, wow. So she got a few little things wrong there. So what?
Okay, so you admit that she's a liar.
No, I'm not saying she's a liar at all. I'm just saying, how does that make her a liar? She could have had fresh food at her dad's and she could have been latchkey at her mum's. I don't know. But that is not good enough reason for the hateful toxicity that you spew, that people who don't like Meghan Markle. And you know what? You've got to look at yourself and see what you're writing and saying. You've got to understand that actually, Dan, do you not hear yourself and think I sound ridiculous? That there's no reason for this. And you know, I saw your tweet where you said, "Oh, I watched it, so you didn't have to waste your time. It was so boring." Well, actually, my husband watched it, but it's not really a manner program. Of course, he's going to find it boring. You know, my husband wanted to watch the football. For women who want to, you know, that kind of lifestyle, it's a lifestyle show. It's good for us. But when you say she's a liar, she's this, she's that, she's that, it's like you're nitpicking. You know, you're just nitpicking for reasons that just aren't good enough. This isn't good enough for the hate she gets. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, you said William and Kate
let
have
Lady
never
C
lied.
come in now.
William and Kate have never lied.
It's
No,
Catherine,
no,
by the way.
no,
Catherine, the Princess
William
of
and
Wales.
Kate.
Catherine, the
They
Princess
lied.
of Wales. No, please address the future queen properly on this show, Narinder.
Sorry. So are you saying William and the Princess of Wales, Catherine,
Good girl.
are you saying
Good girl.
lie, that they don't lie? They lie.
Good girl.
Dan,
Lady
may I
C,
make
come
a
in.
point? Dan, since this is a debate, but it is clearly not a debate because it's Narinder spouting forth venom and accusing everybody else of being venomous when she should be looking in the looking glass. And then she'd see really what's going on. I mean, Narinder, I need to just point out to you that just because somebody doesn't like somebody else of color doesn't mean they're racist. You know, you are reducing every bit of valid criticism of Meghan Markle to the fact that she has what in Jamaica we used to call a little bit of colored blood, because she's not half black. Her mother is mixed race as well, and her father is fully Caucasian. So all these lies about her being 43% Nigerian, it's again another lie. It's another racist lie. And the fact of the matter is, I object to race baiters, which is what Meghan is. And I have to tell you, you're coming across to me as a terrible race baiter as well.
Narinder, are you a race baiter?
I'm going to finish. Shut up. I'm going to finish. Enough now. Just be quiet. The fact of the matter is, you object to the fact that Meghan is caught out lying about her upbringing, and you dismiss it. You dismiss it, and anybody who picks up the fact that she's lying about her upbringing is a racist, because they have disagreed with. Meghan is caught out in lie after lie after lie. She said that her father she was basically impoverished. She says that she was a latchkey kid. She says that she lived off TV dinners. Her father, by her own account, in her own words, over a period of years, She went out to the finest restaurants 3 and 4 times a week, every week, for the 10 years that she was living with her father while her mother was not around. These are words out of Meghan's mouth. I mean, you actually are a true racist and race baiter, because if you are saying that.
Can I jump in now? Because I think I've heard enough.
Well, can
now.
I just ask?
Okay.
I just want to ask
Okay.
one more
No.
question, please,
Okay.
Lady C. Can I just ask one question of you? Is
Yes.
Meghan Markle racist?
Of course she's racist. She's an absolute racist, and she's a race baiter. First of all,
I have heard enough now, and I have heard enough now. When you use the word race baiter, that's just a weapon used to silence people who are criticizing or talking about their racism. So you are just trying to silence racism. Stop that. I will not have that. You've not experienced racism, and you don't know what you're talking about. And you're calling Meghan Sussex a racist. But you won't call the royal family racist. I'm not going to stop. I've had enough of your nonsense, and you're going on and on and on. This is absolutely ridiculous. You're being allowed, and you've been given an absolute green light here to go on and on about how she's a racist, he's a racist, she's a racist. But when you don't see your own unconscious bias, it's absolutely so ridiculous, Lady Campbell. You are weak and you are pathetic, actually.
You are offensive, and I'm also going to say something else. Not only are you offensive, you're ignorant. If you had bothered to do your research, you would have known that my grandfather was murdered by a black man. My father was shot at point blank range and nearly murdered by a black man. My first cousin was murdered by a black man, and I have black friends, and I have relations of color. So you are offensive, and you are actually way out of line. You are a true race baiter. You actually are
weaponizing to silence me. I don't want to argue with you. I don't.
Listen, I'm not going to continue having this
Actually,
conversation.
can I tell you where I do agree
Final
with you?
word.
There is common ground. Actually, I do agree with you, Lady Campbell, in her behaviour to her dad. That's something that I have called out. So unlike you two, I can call out weaknesses, and I agree with you. I do think Meghan Sussex.
Well, let's end on that point of agreement. Thank you, Lady Colin Campbell Narinder Kaur. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.